Now we want to look at the idea of truth tables. We'll see what that means in a minute. Let's first consider the statement. You get ice cream and $1 million. Now, what could possibly happen with respect to your getting an ice cream cone and you're getting $1 million? Well, what can happen? You can get ice cream and not $1 million, or you can get ice cream and $1 million, right? Or you can not get ice cream and still get the $1 million, or you can not get ice cream and no money, right? That's all that can happen. Either you get the ice cream or you don't. You get the $1 million or you don't. And there are 4 possible combinations of getting ice cream or not getting it, getting $1 million or not getting it. So when we say truth values, okay, we get ice cream and $1 million, then it's true that we get the ice cream and it's true that we get the million. If we get the ice cream and not $1 million, then it's true that we get the ice cream and false that we get the million. Now what if we don't get the ice cream and get the million? Then, is this true or false? Think about it. And is this true or false? What are we going to put down here if we don't get the ice cream and do get the million? Well, the ice cream, we don't get it, so that's false. The million, we do get it, so that's true. And then, no ice cream and no $1 million, well, that means they're both false. So right here we have a synopsis of the possible truth values associated with getting ice cream and getting $1 million. Now we can make what's called a truth table for the ice cream and the $1 million. We list all the truth values, and we generally list for 2 conditions. We list the trues and falses in this order. Okay, true, 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 false, false, true, false, false. We change this one every time, so we write true or false for this condition, and then we write trues down. Then we write the true and false again for this condition, and we put falses down in front. So the question now is, if we get the ice cream, if the ice cream is true and the million is true, we do get the ice cream, we do get $1 million, is it true that we get the ice cream and $1 million? And we're going to say, yeah, that's true. We got them both, and that's what the statement says. Now, what if we, getting the ice cream is true and getting the million is false? What about the ice cream and the million? Well, this says and. We didn't get the million, so that this statement has to be considered false. In this case, if the ice cream is false and the million is true, then, again, we don't get the ice cream, so we don't get both, and the statement, the compound statement with the and, is false. And if these are both false, of course, we didn't get either, and we're certainly going to agree that the ice we're going to agree that the ice cream and the $1 million is a false statement. Now, if we get ice cream and $1 million, if the statement is ice cream or $1 million, then what are we going to say? Well, let's see. We can write our truth values. We get the ice cream and the million, and we get the ice cream but don't get the million. We don't get the ice cream and do get the million, and we don't get the ice cream, we don't get the million. Those are our possible conditions on getting the ice cream and getting the $1 million. So, ice cream or $1 million, if the ice cream is true and the million is true, well, sure. All we got to do is get one of them and the statement's true. And if we get both of them, so much the better. We got the ice cream or we got the million. Turned out we got them both. If we got the ice cream and didn't get the million, well, it says ice cream or $1 million. We got the ice cream, so that makes it true. If we don't get the ice cream but do get the million, well, we got the million, and it's an or statement, either the ice cream or the million. We got the million, so we say the statement's true. If we don't get either, though, we're certainly going to say that the statement is false. Now, if we have a statement that says, if the ice cream, then we get the million, what do we do about that? Well, let's see. Get the ice cream, we get the million. Get the ice cream, don't get the million. Don't get the ice cream, do get the million. Don't get the ice cream, don't get the million. The way we're going to reason this out, and this says ice cream and million. So I'm going to have to change this to read if ice cream, then million. Okay, now if we get the ice cream and get the million, then if somebody says, if you get the ice cream, you'll get the million. If we get the ice cream and we get the million, they're going to say, yeah, that was a true statement as far as we can tell. What happens if you get the ice cream and don't get the million? Well, this says if you get the ice cream, you will get the million. You don't get the million, so clearly that makes the statement false. Now, this statement says you don't get the ice cream and you do get the million. Well, this says that if you get the ice cream, then you'll get the million. It doesn't say anything about what happens if you don't get the ice cream. Since it doesn't say anything, you can't conclude that it's false. And if you can't conclude it's false, we're going to have to conclude that it's true. And here, if you don't get the ice cream and don't get the million, well, again, you didn't get the ice cream, so you can't test the statement and show that it's false. So we're going to, by default, say that the statement is true. Now, you see that in each case, for the AND, there's one value that doesn't match the others. There's a true here where there are falses in the other cases. Here, there's a false that doesn't match the trues. Here, there's a false and 3 trues. The exceptional value for AND occurs when both the conditions are true. The ice cream is true, the million is true. You get a true. Otherwise, you got to get a false. The OR can only be false if you don't get either, if they're both false. The if-then can be false only if the condition holds, but the thing that's supposed to follow doesn't. And that's what makes this false. The condition holds, the thing that's supposed to follow does not.